So in our last section for chapter 8, we're actually just compiling everything we've already talked about, and based only on the markings on the picture, we're going to pick the best names for these shapes. Okay, we're going to start at the bottom, and then we'll do the top 3 at the end. Okay, and this is the only slide we have to go through today. So looking at the bottom, let's just get some guesses. We also have to have reasons why we picked the name we picked. So looking at that bottom left one right here, what shape name would be the best? Yes. How come? Okay, so what other word might students say on this one instead of square? Yeah. They could say rectangle. What's another word they might say? Yep. Could say parallelogram. What's another one? A rhombus. Okay, so there are lots of different options. We just have to fine tune it so that we actually get the right answer. So we're going to go with square. We'll check it in a second. What about the next one at the bottom in the middle? Let's get a list. What are all of the options? Parallelogram. What else? There's 2 more. Diamond, same as rhombus. Good guess, though. Isosceles trapezoid. Okay, and then quadrilateral. If it doesn't fit any of these definitions, it's just a 4-sided figure, so we call it a quadrilateral. Okay. We can't go based on what it looks like. We have to go based on the markings on the picture. All right, so let's go back to this bottom middle one. What would we call this one? Not a parallelogram. Not a quadrilateral. Well, it is, but there's a better name. It is a trapezoid. What's the definition of a trapezoid? The main characteristic. Close. Just one set of sides are parallel, which is exactly what we have right here. Okay. Last one. Why would you say rhombus when it says only 3 of the sides are the same?
The bisected sides, the other sides have to be same.
Okay. Let's start by the 90-degree angle. If you have a 90-degree angle in the middle, that means what are your options for names? What shapes have that? Square? Rhombus? Kite. Those 3 have a right angle with the diagonals. Okay, so it's either a rhombus, square, or a kite. So we look at this picture right here. Can we say it's a square? What would we need in order for it to be a square? Yeah, those outside angles need to be 90 degrees. None of them are. Okay. The other 2 options left are a kite or a rhombus. When you have a kite, would you have those 3 sides the same length? No. Okay. 2 of them would be the same, but if you have 3 that are the same, that means that the 4th one is also the same. Okay, so that one is a rhombus. So those are the names and the reasons why. The homework is going to ask you the same thing. I'm going to ask the same thing on the test at the end of the week. So you have to state the name and why you said that name. Well, it's a square because there's right angles and congruent sides. Trapezoid, which is what we talked about, 1 set of parallel sides. And the last one being a rhombus, the diagonals are perpendicular and we have congruent sides. So sometimes it helps to actually list all of the shapes it could be and then narrow it down from there. Okay, using this word bank over here in the red ink. Looking at the top three, what would you say that first one is on the left-hand side right here? Well, I think everyone who said it, I think, said the same one, kite. The options being kite, rhombus, or a square, right? Okay, because those three shapes have a right angle right in the middle with the diagonals. Okay, it's not a square because there's not right angles. Could be a kite or a rhombus, but in order to be a rhombus, we need all the sides being equal, and we only know about two of them, and they're right next to each other. Okay, so this one would be a kite. What about the next one? I've heard a couple of different guesses. What property is drawn up here? Opposite sides are parallel. That means it has to be parallelogram. Good. And the last one? How come? Because it kind of looks like a square to me. But why can't we say that again? Yeah, it didn't actually say that they're the same length. Okay, so the first one's a kite. Diagonals are perpendicular and the specific set of sides are congruent. Parallelogram, opposite sides parallel, we went through that one. And then same reasoning we just went through for the rectangle. We don't know if the sides are the same length, so we can't say it's a square. It would be good to have this list of words here available to you because most of the homework is just asking you what's the best name for this shape. So having this available would be something good to pull from. Questions?